Okay. Cool. Stopped crashing. Hello, Internet. Welcome back to Space Engineers. So, just glance over everything to make sure it actually stopped freezing and is actually working. I think it is. None of you are here yet, so I don't know. Uh, okay. I had a whole plan of like, how am I going to start this one? It just left. But that's fine, because I know the gist. So, big reveal time. Fly away. Look at that! That's a welded base. So, I've gotten pretty much everything done and welded. I'll give you a tour here. You might notice a little pile of debris kind of surrounding us. Uh, so I've learned many things since last I spoke with you. Many things. First off, if you recall, we took out the bases over there that were giving us troubles. Oh. No, network, what you doing? Dropping frames. That's abnormal. Well, we'll see what happens. Uh, so there were the bases out that way. There's one of the markers for the one that's still kind of salvageable. And we figured we'd be safe and good. Well, as it turned out, not true. When I was doing stuff off camera, another base spawned, kind of there-ish. And I'll be perfectly honest, because we had that one and the one over, where are you? The one way over there to deconstruct, so that's content. I kind of just deleted the one that spawned in with admin controls, because I didn't want to deal with it spawning a bunch of things to hurt me. And I kind of figured, oh, well, maybe if it's the last one that spawned over there, I just missed it and we won't have to worry about it. So, yeah, I cheated a little bit, but that's fine. Uh, Unfortunately, another base spawned over there. So, I don't think originally I thought you had like all the bases would spawn if you got close enough, and from there they'd just start attacking you at different times. Apparently, that's not entirely true. I think sometimes if you have them angry at you, the assertive faction, I think bases just spawn around you. So, that means I thought we were maybe safe here. We were not. Hence, the headhunter sitting over here on top of the uh, welding garage and the massive debris field scattered about. So, that's kind of thing. I've also, I think, figured out there seems to be like a 15 to 20 minute delay from when you load the world in to when they start attacking. If the base is already sent a drone out, the drone will still come. But, like, I don't know for sure, but I think there is a delay. So, for the first little bit here, we should be safe. At least relatively. So, we'll see when that happens. The base has done a pretty good job defending itself. The giant hunk of spaceship sitting there has done a decent job of helping with that. And there's a whole bunch of stuff to go over with that, too. Real quick, let me just see. That's the wrong button. So if I type NATO. Uh-oh. Ooh. Okay, good thing I checked. We have burned through our ammo supply. So I was just saying, the base has done a pretty good job defending itself. That plus me tactfully flying off that way so the drones come at me and the base can just shoot them has kind of worked out. But we are low on ammo. Do we have any 241 magnesium? How much do you need for an ammo? 1. Okay, so we should be able... I think we should have enough to produce a bunch more ammo. That should keep us relatively safe. We will clamber down. I guess I'll go ahead and start the tour. So, here in the Welding Garage, which is a great name for it that I just came up with, there's honestly not too much different. It's just kind of welded. So, yeah, we have nice walls. I've not painted anything. I probably will at some point, but I didn't before I started recording today, so no paint. But yeah, so all pretty similar. Still works. We got little windows so we can still see out and get some light, ignoring the massive hole in the roof. So yeah, there's that. We have this, all is about the same connector for the ship. Head on over. Not much, pardon the garbage on the front door. So not much has changed here either, except for, again, it's all welded. So, oh, and dinged up slightly. But all pretty good. Our sort of garage production area, little enclosed living area. So yeah, that's most of it. And that was all the steel we brought back. I actually ran myself out of steel. I don't have good access. I think we have like 300 steel plates compared to the thousands we had before. And that's with me producing more from the iron we had to finish all this and get myself to a good angle here. Up on the viewing hill. So a lot of that steel went into that. We now have a ship that's more or less finished. It is ready to fly. In fact, it has flown a bit just to test to make sure it would. I did some repairs of what was here, moved some stuff around. There was a large hydrogen thruster that we were using for lift here that I moved and put back here where the one originally was. So it's got plenty of forward thrust. It has hydrogen thrust in all directions in decent amounts. It's got atmospheric thrust in all the directions that matter for atmosphere. And it's got ion thrust, I believe, forward. It's lacking in the side-to-side direction. So there are no... As I kind of fall along the building, there are no ion thrusters along the sides. And that's partly because I ran out of parts to build them. Those are the things I cannot actually build yet. That's just thing docking and scaring me. They reply blah 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 blah. Speaking words. They require platinum, which is up in space. So if we want to finish the ship, we have to leave. But we have enough. You can see some here. We've got the ones out back and out front that were in the wreck. And then there were like 6 of them up. Yeah, there are 6 up topside here that were just here. So they're all... I say they're all working. I didn't actually check these. Yeah, they're all good. So, that for thrust, we should be decently good for everything we'll need. I don't know if it'll be able to take off. Like actually get to space. I know it can fly in atmosphere. And I'm thinking the 2 large hydrogen thrust plus these other little ones should be enough to propel it up. At least at enough of an angle to get to space. we'll have to see and try that. I may have to figure something else for a booster out. But, yeah. So, we can go over here and look. So, the main outside changes, I believe before it crashed, that engine pod section was duplicated over here. I did not want to build an entire engine section, so I built this little snub thing with the one, I can't remember if this Atmo thruster was here or not, but we've got one big downward one. We've got our hydrogen in all the directions except for that way, where I'm pointing. Got our two this way Atmos, and that's pretty much it. There's a turret back here. There's a little walkway right in here that we'll get to that goes from, there are two deck levels kind of inside. Whoops, almost out of gas. Yeah. And then we have this nice swooping bow, which gets very steep there, but just kind of, I don't know, kind of a little bit, naval shippy inspired. I feel like it kind of gives it something interesting to look at. So, now let's go inside. Let's see, I've repaired all the doors. I believe I've fixed everything on board and actually welded everything up. There's maybe one or two things that aren't 100%, but for the most part, the cockpit here hasn't really changed much. I put the glass back here and here where it had been shot away. Oh, and I added this door here so the main bay or main decks are airtight even if the cockpit gets breached. So not too much there. We go down. This area I kind of completely reworked. I used the, I forget what DLC gives these, but they're DLC graded stairs that just look nicer and fancier. Because they're actual stairs and not windows. But, yeah, so I built these. I opened this up because it was originally hallways and they were kind of confusing and hard to navigate. So I just opened it up. You can see everything. It's still, if you're coming up from down there, the natural instinct is to turn and try and get to the bridge, but this leads outside. So that's not perfect. You can see there's one connector port that peeks through, unfortunately, but, you know, that's just how life go. So yeah, I guess we'll go around the back first. So, this area in here, it's kind of the battery bay and kind of computer bay. I'll show you what that programmable block is for in a moment. Yeah, there's not too much going on. There's probably some room to add more stuff in here as I need it. And a little cargo access. I believe that right above this is the connector for the landing pad up there. So yeah, this down here is the little walkway in the winglet I mentioned. On the sides of these are hydrogen thrusters everywhere. Pressure, so this whole thing is pressurized, which will be nice and useful in space. Down here, this is sort of the engineering bay, which again has plenty of room to add more things. Got the reactor back here, have the assembler kind of in position back here. I put a basic refinery kind of behind this. I think I have some speed or some power modules attached to this as well. So the ship, it can't do everything. I kind of don't want this to be a full-on like base that I could just move around in. I want to have the incentive to build a base wherever I end up. But this will give me a major jump ahead and be able to, it should have enough production to be able to resupply itself with anything it needs for the most part. So this awkward little dark corner closet, which actually, oh, dang, I may have to look into, I may put another door here. to make this airtight. What this is, I saw this on the workshop. It's a little clangy. Uh, so I saw this as an idea on the workshop. I look up elevator. You can see we are now going down. So we have an onboard little elevator. At the bottom, it's the same height. I didn't refill my fuel. So at the bottom, it's the same height as the landing gear, the new ones that I built. That tower will go away eventually. But this will be the main kind of how you get to the ground if, say, you are out of jetpack. You can access remotely into the ship, lower the elevator piston, and then climb on board. Which actually I can show. Terminal. Elevator. And go back up. And I tested it with a bit of test flight, and it didn't seem to cause any sort of phantom force problems. They improved a lot of that with the collisions of things, because you can see it is kind of embedded into stuff, into the tail here. So there's clearly a bit of force, because I'm not moving myself right now, I'm just gliding. But we'll see, I may rework that a bit. Actually, here's an idea. Okay. Oh, that's why I used one of those. And it's still moving. Okay. I was just thinking if the door was the problem, I could just use like one of these doors, but more than the door. I may look into an alternative way to do this later, if it causes any issues. But yeah. So, engineering bay. Now, we move forward. So, kind of at this step, this is the kind of medical area, and it's kind of transitioning into the engine bay. This is that connector that you could see above sticking through the floor is here. I couldn't find a better way. These are, they're the armor slope blocks, and they open to space. So I didn't want to have to, have holes in those. But that connects up the medical bay. Talked for a while and forgot to breathe. Yeah, so medical bay. We're connected to the base. Actually, I think there's some hydrogen in the tanks on here. That was one thing. I can't remember if that happened on stream. When I connected this up, I didn't think about the fact the H2 generators on the base would pump this thing full of hydrogen from the ice we had. So I ran myself out of ice. Luckily, I noticed before I was like completely out of hydrogen, but a lot of the work I was just filling my bottle off the fuel tanks for the ship. Because, that's where I could get fuel. But, yeah, so we have the onboard O2H2 generator, which also would refuel the onboard tank, so that would be very slow, so we'll see. Hopefully it won't burn so much that I have to use these often. My hope is it'll kind of balance it out with what I can get to burn for making air. But, yeah, so little that. As I turn, we have our, I'll just turn that off momentarily to get the view. We have the living area. So, I've got the little kitchen bar here. Nice little table here that you can sit at. Got a vending machine. And what that programmable block does, this is a script off the workshop that I can't remember the name of who made it, but if you just look up Snake, you'll probably find it. This lets you play a game of Snake. So, it's sort of my attempt at an arcade cabinet that's also a flight seat. Uh, I did set it up, so the script's a little bit finicky to set up. I don't really feel like going through how to do it at the moment, but maybe if people want, I can make a video on that. Well, that was dumb, but well timed. Uh, so a little finicky to set that up, but I figured if I'm on long space voyages waiting for a jump drive to recharge, which I don't have yet. I left room for one, but we don't have one. So that'll be one of the things to get in space. But I figured it'd be nice to have just a little something to play and do while I'm just drifting. Uh, I did have to set it up. So in my testing, how this script worked, I determined that, so you play it using WAS and D, or you can, there are a couple options, but that's the way that's the easiest to actually play. The downside is, if you're on a ship and the seat has any control over anything, you will actually control the ship as well as play the game of Snake. I tested it on a little rover, and it was a wild little Snake game. But yeah, so I basically just set that chair to not actually control anything. Downside of that is, if I'm down here playing Snake and relaxing, and suddenly the ship's under attack, I have to sprint from there, sprint up these stairs, try not to forget and go in those. I guess I could go outside and around. But I have to run all the way up to the cockpit to actually do anything. So, I may make some adjustments to that. Maybe have actually, hold on, I'm just going to do that now while I'm thinking about it. I think I called, Snake Game. I'm going to have an option here. I should have that control. Yes. Control thrusters. Control gyros. So now, I can have those off and play my game of Snake with no issue. But if in an emergency I realize I need to get out, this also can work as a flight seat. I definitely planned that. So, from there we come up a level. We're in the bow of the ship now. Just for kind of down there, obviously, and then up here. So up here, in the bow, we have the little crew area with 4 little bunks, a sort of rest and changing area, and then bathroom and shower. So yeah, I don't know why I made this for, like, a crew. I don't think I will have a crew. Who knows? Maybe I find someone along the way. But, I don't know. I had the room, so it felt right. Because this is kind of a big ship. Even cutting out big chunks of it, it's still, you could easily have a crew of 4 people on this thing and have it make sense. So, yeah. So that is the tour. And look at the bow again. Yeah. So now, looks like that base hasn't come back in yet. So that's lucky. Debating. So, we're at the point now. This is an exciting time. The base is done, more or less. I may paint it up a bit. I'll probably change how this whole thing works so that's a little more pretty. But we're pretty much set to go. I think the next steps we need, so the next step in general, we need to get to space. So we've got the ship to hopefully take us there. What I may do is build a small ship that I think can get us there just as kind of a scouting mission. Uh, but I'll think about that. Before we can go to space, we need to be able to get enough hydrogen fuel to get off the planet. So my plan, I think, and I think we can make it work. This thing has all the production facilities and cargo that we should be able to stuff it full of what we need and go build a fuel refinery on the ice lake way out there. So I think that's going to be part of our plan. First, though, I kind of want to uh mess with those bases that I have marked for demolition. If that other base, when it pops back up, we may go and try and take it out too. Though we may just take it out on the way. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what next is best to do. One thing I did determine as well, this is kind of a departure from previous plans. So, originally the intent was to have a, what do you call it? The safe zone built to protect this base. And we could do that. The downside with the safe zones, they aren't really, they don't work like how I'd want them to work for this. Essentially it's a bubble. You can blacklist things from coming into it, or whitelist things, I guess would be easier. So you can keep stuff out, but essentially it just sets, like, best way, like different world settings inside the bubble. So in the bubble, for example, you can have things set to no grinding, to not do damage, no collision damage, which would be fine. But what I kind of wanted was to have the bubble that would just keep things out like an actual shield, but just have normal life go on inside it. You could make it work. This is a long rambling explanation to say I've decided I'm not going to use one. As interesting as it could be, I will skip the economy DLC, the stuff that it adds. I may mess with something later, but I think we're just going to stick with good old firepower to keep ourselves safe. Firepower and proactive defense. And one thing, it's kind of a cheap method of dealing with it. Not really cheap, it's just how the game works. So the assertive bases come after me, the character in the world, or any character in the world. If I'm not here, assertive things aren't gonna come and attack. So, when I leave for space, I don't have to worry about the base getting destroyed while I'm gone, because nothing will attack it. At least down here on Earth, I don't believe. Up in space, I do have some groups, some, NPC mods that I believe will just hunt out and attack grids. So, up in space is not safe. That's danger zone. That's kind of why I want to be ready to get up there and go once we get up there. I don't want to have to dawdle around too much. But I think here on Earth, here at the base, and the bases I build, Mars and the alien world, I think they'll be relatively safe with just guns. So, long-winded explanation of why I'm not driving over there to buy a bunch of zone chips. So, yeah. I guess what that leaves us then, maybe what we'll do, what do I have on me? Got a lot of small ammo, got my gun, should fill up my tank. I think what I'm gonna do is take the hot dog, which I did repair, by the way, the damage it sustained. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to go to that one demo base. There, yeah, you're fine. The first base we took out. And I'm going to see what's going on there, see what I can salvage. Bring that back. And then from there, we'll see what we do. It was a very loose episode today. So let's, where has hydrogen? Yeah, so the generators, I don't have any ice, because again, it all goes into the ship. But there's ice on the ship, or hydrogen on the ship. So, if I just go in tank 30, refill the bottles, empties out a bit. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. So, let's be good, everyone, while I'm gone. Okay. Unlocked. Raise it up. It's been a while since I've driven this thing. Do I have any... It's got a bit of ammo. I make it just a little bit more ammo. Just in case. Cha-cha-cha. Oh, it's in the assembler. It's like I knew we couldn't have emptied it all into the turrets. Okay. Big wheels. Okay. So that'll get fed to the turret when I need it. If I need it. Hopefully we won't. There shouldn't be anything out there. But we shall see. Avoid. The sad thing with all the scrap lying around, there was some original... Made a bunch of holes. So there was some originally. That was just kind of from the initial drone attacks when we first got back here with the scrap metal. But most of the new... I cleaned all that stuff up. I took Buzzy, flew around, just ground it all down. All this stuff around is since the last episode. Well, I guess all of it since the last episode. Point being, I cleaned it all up, and then we got even more stuff. Even more drones. So, the bright side is the base has stayed relatively secure in all that. The only annoyance is they did one time, do a bit of damage to the headhunter when it was parked on the back of the scrap metal. That's part of why it's now sitting unceremoniously on top of the welding garage. Is I found that if I put it there, the drones didn't have they didn't shoot it first every time. Because it was basically getting shot at every time a drone would show up. So, but it got relatively repaired. It is out of ammo, but, you know, who needs ammo this day and age? Okay. So we'll head out here. I'm hoping... If I recall, I didn't take out the guns on this. So it is still fully armed. Should I go over this one more hill? I think I should be good. What is this boulder? Yes, it's down there. This might be iron. That looks like iron. Just pop out and make sure. Yep, iron. Who needs it? I've got a big hole full of iron that I haven't touched since I made it. That is, that I've not run that drill since it first hit iron. It will get a ton the next go through, because that first pass wasn't even a. It was just clearing off the top dirt to get to the ore patch. So it is good on iron, but I really don't need it. I'm kind of good. Uh, this isn't very good. Oh, that's the wreck of that one drone that we killed at the very end of last episode. I just realized I repaired everything except I didn't put glass in my skylight. So I guess we're driving with the top open now. Oh yeah. This is basically just... Ooh. The trailer bounced a little there. I got all the good stuff out, so that's basically just a pile of steel. That doesn't look too bad. Okay. Now, I can't remember if I finished the thought earlier. This base should probably... I believe it still has guns on it. So I do need to be relatively careful. Even though it shouldn't, spawn drones to attack me. Oh, it's not even at the beacon. The beacon was just in view of it, wasn't it? Yeah. So, yeah. It shouldn't be able to spawn drones at me, but it could still and will still shoot me. So I'll have to be wary of that. Yeah, and I think that's it there. Kinda on the horizon. I don't want to... I'd point with the cursor, except, that means pointing with the truck, which means going off a cliff. Okay. Let's ease her on in here. And down here into safety. And we'll see if we can't, pick it off a bit from a distance. Okay. Good place to park. Where was it? I don't love this. It wasn't that one. I could have sworn... Like when I popped up, it was quite literally pop up above this. And a base attacked. This feels bad. Well, there's a hole. Oh. You know what this looks like? Oh, yeah. So this was like an underground complex. But I do believe it looks like it despawned. Huh. Yeah. Well, that's a bummer. So I guess that's one base we won't be dealing with today. Now I don't know... Ah, dang. This could be... I guess it's good and bad that I fessed up to using admin tools to get rid of that one base I didn't want. I wonder if... Oh, no. I wonder if what I maybe did was I thought I got rid of the one over there, and I actually got rid of the one here, which would explain why there's still one over there attacking. Because it didn't go away. And also explain the lack of one here. Because it shouldn't... It's possible it ran out of battery, but I believe, unless it overrides it, I believe I also have the trash control set to a minimum number of blocks. Specifically so it won't, I can disable a base and it won't delete it. So, Well, that was anticlimactic. Home we go, I guess. We can... Nope, we're going back down the hill. Where is base for demo? Oh, no. I hit the trailer. That was dumb of me. Okay. Well, sorry about that. That's the... Unfortunately, this is a live show, so... not too much I can do. But... I think that makes it clear what the next step should be. And actually... maybe that next step can be a couple interesting things. So... that other base that we took out, that's prime for the dissecting, it is not somewhere I can drive. It's down on the lower plateau. What I may do, this is something I had the thought of, since we have so many drone parts now, I may give the hot dog here a jetpack. I'm just going to pop out and see what this rock is. But essentially, I'll put some large thrusters, probably on each side where there's no wheel. One on each side. That way I can use the hot dog. I can essentially base jump it down there, and then drive to where I want to go, and then base jump it back up. Which isn't how base jumping works generally, but you know. Basically, it'll let me kind of hover around in this thing, at least enough to get over there. The reason I'm doing that, I don't really have a flying ship with cargo. The Headhunter sort of worked in a pinch, but it involved not taking a lot of stuff. And I want to take everything if I can, which is part of what this thing was meant to do. Also, don't mind me. I'm just hunting. That's cobalt. I see all these boulders out here now. I want to know what's in them, specifically if it's valuables. So, one of the big things we still need, we have not found any gold. We had, I think we, is that silver boulder? Yeah, the silver boulder is still out there. So what is Vic Viper 1? Oh, that was the GPS from... Yeah, that can go away. That was the GPS of where the hot dog was when we were attacking that base. That is no longer there. So something that we need that we don't have is gold. We do know there's some gold at the iron mine, but it's deep underground. It's very rare, but you can find gold boulders, and that would probably give us enough gold that we could get the gravity components to be able to build a jump drive. I think the super can. I forget what they need. Basically, I can't build a jump drive for scrap metal because we don't have the parts. We don't have the resources to get the parts, and gold is one of them. You may also need some platinum. Though I think I did have some extra ion thruster parts that came out of salvaging some of the damaged stuff. So I could use those. Basically break them down, convert the platinum out. I just don't know how much they need. And I kind of want to hang on to them because those ion thrusters are also useful. If I run out of hydrogen in space, I can still fly with them. So. Oh. My driving approach is now taken up by a starship. Don't mind me. Slip on under. And actually, we'll leave this here. Just doing this to have a convenient spot to detach this thing. Because I don't think a trailer is going to work very well. And detach. So, yeah, I don't even need to get back in. So, what I'm thinking... Actually, I will get back in just to move it. So I can use the cargo port that normally docks to. So, not an incredible turning radius. Okay. So what I'm thinking is... So we have a thruster kind of here, or even here, so I could put two if I need them. But yeah, here and then mirrored on the other side. So, you can see not a ton of iron or of steel plate left. Oh, hey, looks like it's that time again. What are... Oh, dang it, it's an armadillo. Come this way, buddy. Come on. Oh, it's not coming. Ah. See, that's the issue. If I don't notice them and get them to vector off the other way, especially with these big guys, they pretty much come straight in and crash on the deck here, which isn't super handy. So, that's another research outpost. Maybe what we do, before we fiddle with the hot dog anymore, let's... Okay. So I should have... Yeah, I've got 2 goes of missile. Let's get some ammo. Put that back. Oh no, because I was about to put the ammo in there, but that won't do us any good. Okay. So. Now we're going to turn that off so it doesn't shoot all the things on the ground. That's the wrong button. Okay, we should have enough power. Let's go take that out. Because it should at least buy us some time before a new one appears. Oh, it hurt us. Stream sniped by the computer. But I don't think it matters because... Oh. Well, I think I can see it because the ground is glitched out a bit. But there it is there. Oh, hello, growing tree. Yeah, there's no way. I must have accidentally deleted the other one. That's sad. Though that might mean my initial thought of how these things worked was wrong. Because if this was the one that was here, then it was the one that was here originally. The one that I tried to delete and just didn't. Don't like not knowing my range. Okay. Armadillo spawned. Though I don't know what it's doing. Oh, it's trying to flank me, I guess. Yeah. Well, I don't think this thing has a top turret. Nah. Well, that did something. Oh. Oh, because I didn't. I was like, why aren't my turrets working? Oh. Eh. Ah. This does work quite well. I guess it is somewhat wasteful of ammo. But whatever. Okay. So now, edge our way in. And actually, that's the perfect target. There we go. So that, oh, uh-oh. Okay. So that's that taken care of. Let's real quick refill the rocket. Because if I can take out those turrets, are there any... No, it looks like it's just those two. The downside is I'd no longer have a range on the base. I can just have to go until they shoot at me, I guess. Oh, they're shooting. Come on. Direct hit. Okay. So now for that one. Oh, that may be a less direct hit. Ah, still got it. Perfect. It's also very... At full zoom, it's very hard to fly. Even the slightest movement has like this weird sway effect. Okay. This place has some good stuff going. Solar panels. It's got that whole underground complex that I could pretend I've never seen before, but I've watched other people play with these mods, so I do know what's under there. I won't even... Who needs the Theater of the mind. That's not even the term for whatever. I babble. Now I don't know if these things have a turret inside. Any turret in here? No, not on this level. Okay. Well, that's handy. Let's go ahead. New base to deal with. I guess. It's in downside. So, couple options. I guess I should be careful because another base could spawn from here while I'm down here. So I could just bring the scrap metal over to these things. That would have plenty of room to salvage everything from it, get all the goodies and whatnot, and then go. I'd have to disable the turrets, which is a downside, because they'd just shred it. But, oh no, I feel like I should solve this bit better. The reason I'm kind of pondering that right now, I know there's a whole maze of traps and death waiting for me in this thing. I could go deal with it now, which would be interesting. But if I die, I'll spawn... Well, screw it. We'll go once. We know where this is. Yeah, base to deal with. So, we'll see what we can do here. And if we die, then I decide if I want to just come in with the big guns or put the thrusters on the hot dog and go that route. Okay. So let's see. Yeah. Battery. I figured there'd be one on here, so there's no point in me disabling the power grid. I may go ahead and do that just to say I have. So I'll be able to salvage these things, but they won't be powering the base anymore. Ew. Eerie. Whoa, no. That's not right. Uh-oh. Well. Ow. Okay. That's not what I thought would happen. Huh. Well. So I guess, when going in there, I didn't think about the fact that it could spawn a drone. What to do, what to do. You know what? Screw it. Okay. So. Don't remember what those were. That's the side connector. So first step, disconnecting side connector. Connector piston, pull that back in. Oh, hey, there's that pigeon. Oh, I guess I actually shouldn't take off because this is still sitting on the back deck. Yeah. Well, got dinged up a bit. Okay, never mind that. It got real exciting, but we'll just go with this. This does have a gun on it, so as awkward as it'll be to fight in a bus in the sky, I think it'll be fine. The downside is, my body, 5 kilometers away. You know what? Multi-screw. Oh no, because, I want to just fly to my body. Okay, hold on. Thinking too fast. My body will despawn in a set amount of time. If I add the thrusters to the hot dog, I doubt I will get there in time. I don't have a bottle. I'm already at 53. I doubt I can make it. Let's just... Sucks, I'll lose a bottle and some nice tools, but I've got stuff. I can make more. We'll go ahead and get set up over here. Yeah. There we go. So... bunch of thrust. Oh, a lot of motors. That's the downside. How many motors can I hold? Enough for one at a time. Let's get everything else built. Oh, I need more grids, too. Do I? I can just grind down grids from around on the ground. Already gotten to that one. Let's take you apart. Yeah. Well, and what I may do too. I don't know. I wish I could think of a good way to integrate the respawn thing into the hot dog. Because it would be much more convenient to have that, in the actual thing, not have to try and pull it behind it. Let me think on that. Because that would... my main hanging point, as I said, I'd like to be able to respawn down there. My hope is that that was the only drone that thing can spawn, and that it won't do one every time I go in. Though what I may do is set the hot dog turret to only target small grid, because then it won't shoot up the base, but it'll still be on to defend itself. Though I don't know how long it'll stand with the just one turret alone without any sort of height advantage. Oh, careful. Whoops, I need that welder. Oh, conveniently, I do have another precise rifle, though. Well, that was dumb. It looks like I was carrying all of the small ammo. Okay. Well, let's make some of that. Yeah, well. Yeah, because my body has since gone to the wind, eaten by the space moles. Weld that back up. This is all just metal. Off the deck you go. Oh, oh that's real satisfying. Push it off. Okay. So, let's go fill up on hydrogen. There we go. And now, how many things do we have? Well, what do we need? So I think we needed a few more of those. Six grids. Not enough. Okay. Oh, dang it. Yeah. Come over here, Mr. Rival. Well, free, thruster delivery. Oh, is it? That's still going. I guess it got its turret taken out. Sometimes if they are, disarmed, they will essentially flee. Okay. So you've been scrapped. No, you've not been. Well, mostly scrapped. Unfortunately, my turrets are so good that most of what lands is just steel. So, see, I can't remember. Nah, that's been dealt with. Well, okay, for the most part, I think that's everything. So, probably will actually have to make some. But that's fine. Say 20, we should have all the things we need. Okay. So, do two. Yeah, man. Do some tubes next. So this thing, it should have plenty of lift. Part of why I'm going so overboard with the thrust is so that I won't have to worry about, I can fill it up with cargo and still get in the air. Okay. So let's not take all of that this time. Well, we can load those later. I'll take some spares in the truck, but... Okay. Now we just need all the motors. Hopefully... Yeah, it should still fit on the pad. Because they don't go past the wheels. Okay, luckily we have all the motors, so... Oh, no. Turn you off. Actually, before I... A handy thing... I think you can do it... Let me check real... That's the wrong button. Let me check real quick. Yeah, you can. Handy tip if you're building kind of something like this, where it's not locked to the ground and you're kind of jury-rigging stuff onto it, it is handy to turn the thrusters off, because as you saw, once the thruster turns on, it's going to be real confused in the miracle of birth and try and thrust away, which generally causes things to fly off and flip and explode. Not ideal when you're trying to retrofit thrusters on a bus, so a good practice to just kind of make sure everything's off first. Okay. Oh, actually, I just had a thought too. I bet I'm going to need to do some more jury rigging on this. I bet that one battery isn't going to be enough to power these. At least it's not going to for very long. But I'm willing to bet I will be maxed out from the get-go. So those are the lights. Don't really have a super convenient... Where's that camera? Oh, it was the reverse camera. We don't use that, so... Thrusters. Okay, I'm willing to bet... Yeah, we do have a gyro. Not much of a gyro, though. Okay, so we can fly, but it's for a limited time. Okay, got a thought. In fact, I've got a bit of a silly thought. So, we have this... Well, let's just... Got thrusters, why not use them? So we have this solar panel up here. And it probably does something good. What I'm thinking, we quite literally lift up the little trailer, stick it to the top, and now we have our respawn. Because that thing doesn't have a... Never mind, that's not important then. I was thinking that thing had a battery on it, but it doesn't. So that really doesn't help us. Maybe. I mean, it'll limit this thing a bit. I could get rid of this large container and essentially just... Oh no, because that feeds the turret. Dang it. I designed this thing too well to do one specific job. Huh. Well, let's put another 2 gyros on it. That's the wrong button. Where is a good gyro spot? Actually, something kind of forgotten about when I'd done the front. There's actually holes up here, which should be perfect for gyros. Okay, so we have enough, yeah. So computers, construction components, and a bunch of steel. Construction components, bunch of steel. Then we just need 2 tubes. And more steel, because I forgot the front. Shift P for the color. Okay. So now, yeah, that's a lot of control. Okay. It's a little janky for sure, but we can now fly the hot dog. So, that off. Still drives decently well. Okay. So, the question of... Well, firstly, I guess, comes the question, should I actually put some directional thrust on to be a reasonable human being? I think that's honestly... I kind of wanted to just hover it, but I think we have these. A few small ones should be fine. You should match the color scheme these. So, yeah. We'll do these here. Just because as confident, yeah, as confident as I am in my flying ability, I don't know if it's a great idea to try and get all the way from here down, or, you know, from relatively close down to the ground, just relying on gyroscope control and downward thrusters. I feel like that could end very poorly very quickly. Take out a bunch of that. Oh, tubes. Dang it. Well, that'll be enough. Now, the downside is this may push us over what our batteries can handle, to the point that we won't actually be able to get airborne. So, I need more construction components. I was wrong. Is that a... No, that's... I thought a poke of armor was a thruster. I was like, how'd I miss that? Okay. So, got that. Oh, I just remembered something. Oh, well. Yeah, so there is some area in there. There's unfortunately a wheel, so it's not quite enough room for a battery. Dang. That's a connector right under there. Then this is only 1 block thick. That's a hole. Is that... Oh, that is the mine hole. Not been down there in ages. Huh. So there is room in there. But not enough for the back. Granted, when do I ever use this back connector? That could be... Whoops, I'm out of gas. Maybe I see if I can stick the... If I can stick a survival kit and battery in there, I'll lose the ability to connect via the back connector, but I don't think I ever used that. And it'll give me... Dang, they just keep flying in. Come over here. You won't get me. You don't know the pain you're in for. Ow, it got me. That's okay. Targeting me means it's not targeting the base. And hopefully, yes. Also that it's not going to crash into the base when it dies. Here's some untouched scrap. Not a ton of it, but something. Whoa, now. Dang. Yeah, they're coming close. Where did that land? Ooh. There are all kinds of goodies out here. Well, I don't think I need them, so... We'll just... The smoke should stay and remind me. I'll probably... In the off-camera times, I'll probably do another, buzzy run and just clean up everything. But... So I should be able... At the back here... So... now the downside... Yeah, I know. The downside is... So a survival kit is 3 blocks by 3 blocks by 4. And the large battery is 3 by 3 by 2. I won't have enough room for both. Well, maybe what I do is just rework the back entirely here. So... I get rid of these... Get rid of this and this. So... I can put a battery here. In fact, let's... And then, it won't be connected, but I can put a survival kit up here, and it will at the very least allow me to respawn. Now the downside is... Let's go ahead and queue up those. The downside is the hot dog is not very well suited to combat. It has one turret for defense, and that's somewhat measly. My fear with putting the... I may try and cover the back a bit more with, like, even just a half layer of armor, so that I can at least protect the survival kit a little bit. I'd like it to be able to survive a hit. Downside of parking this over here is it's far away from where I can deposit the stuff. Granted, when I started, I didn't intend necessarily to... I didn't plan on pulling it apart. Okay. So that's that. Go ahead and... place it in, and also... move that. Yeah. There we go. Go there. Okay. And if the power cells are good, let's actually look for the power cells. Yes. Okay. So, that's... convenient thing. I've been doing more work kinda on the side with the new blocks, which are now, I guess, old blocks. This isn't what I want. So I do have a little bit more knowledge on how to kind of place and shape with them in a way that should make this look more interesting. So, go with these here and here. I'm gonna fill these in. I'll probably need more than this, but we'll start out. Yeah. In fact, I need more than that immediately. So, basically just extend the back out. Well, actually, not you. Not you. I want these. Oh, that's fine. Mm-hmm. So we'll just keep going. I do have another bottle I could, I guess, fill up and be using, but honestly, when I'm just here and have quick access, I feel like filling up and using a bottle is just kind of a waste of time a bit. Yeah. Oop, I'm out of steel. And I'm not... I was just grasping at the access port, trying to figure out how to get to it. Okay. So there and there. Oh. Dang. One thing, there is not a block that will span this correctly. Is there a block that would do here? So that gun does something. I don't think there is. And there's not a convenient way. So that is, even with the fancy new blocks, there are still some shapes that just don't quite work. So, though, I don't, at a certain point, trying to make a block for absolutely every shape, while it would be kind of nice, it's just, that's way too much to do. Is there a... No, because there's not one that goes from... There's not like a... I don't know what you'd call it. I guess a bridging piece that goes from the 1x1 slope to the 2x1 slope laterally. You have this that goes from the 2x1 big to the 2x1 corner. But, well, what I can do. Use a bit of old tricks and just accept that there's a slight lip and just kind of design it in a way that the lip looks reasonable. You know. In the real world, you'd probably have that more, Oh, no, actually, hold on. I need more gas. Ow. Hold on. There may be a way to do this after all. Okay. So if that comes out... So I can put that there. No, I think the best I can do... Dang. Is there a... Oh, well, here's an idea. If I can't, worm that in a way that I like, let's just redo the rest. So if I just do these all the way down, yeah. There we go. Then the little back panel covering the survival kit will be bumped out here, but it doesn't look as weird because the line is continued. And I do believe, can't remember, is it here? No, it's in this one. Boom. There is a block that kind of does that. So it's a little stair-stepped here, but it all looks reasonable. Now, we can go ahead and Actually, I don't need these here. Where? Oh, I was on the wrong piece. That's why there was no flat part. So yeah. This little hump. And then we'll just fill in everywhere except for the access panel. Actually, if I remember, yeah. So that'll give me access to the panel. And should offer at least some protection for the kit. I still think my best bet is just going to be not get in fights. But I feel like that's a little more survivable. And I can still hop up on the trailer hitch to access it. Or just do it from the ground. So, do I want to... Nah, because I like being able to see the charge on the battery. Okay. So, the flying hot dog is now, I believe, ready to operate. Oops. Let's fix that. Do that, and then add that to the group. So, we still don't have forward and reverse thrust, but I don't think we need it. My idea, I can just kind of bank up and down and fly it like a helicopter. Our side-to-side thrust will help us with maneuvering and whatnot, so we don't have to worry as much about that. And I don't really have to worry about coming to a complete stop, because I should be able to just land this thing like an aircraft. Essentially roll on the wheels. I want to be slowed for that, but I do have the benefit of that cushion. What I'm going to do... there you go. Now, I'd like to be able to toggle them on and off. Yeah. Oh, and I should probably... Hot dog. Batteries. We'll replace that there. Light should still be good. Turret should be fine. Those. Yeah. So now, have a whole lot of power. And okay. So it does still max out when we thrust. But I shouldn't be thrusting very often. And then yeah. Easy peasy. Whoops. I'm in the air. That is the... I'm so used to being able to stop flying by just hitting Z. I'll have to remember I can't start driving until I have turned off the thrusters. Okay. So we should be good. We could recharge the battery. It's also night. But there's not a whole lot else to do. Got about 20 minutes. Let's go on in. Oh, first off, fill this up with some things. Just some... Oops, I should put on the brake. Put on the brake. There we go. Fill this up with some of the spare stuff, just so that if something goes awry, we are able to keep going. That. Don't need steel. Let's do... Tank 30 refill. Just so that we're good on that. Okay. Well, without further ado, let's get going. Get some vengeance on that base. It cost us a tier 2 welder. So, the benefit of retrofitting the hot dog for this type of thing, I can still drive it. Oh, that's a large thruster. I knew there was somewhere where there was untouched salvage. Maybe we just mark this. Not new from clipboard. I have way too many signals. Unclaimed salvage. Good enough. It'll remind me it's there. Nope, in we go. Because that's a whole, whole drone there. Okay. Is this the cliff? I think this is. Okay. Here we go. Overly dramatic launch. Go! Oh, that wasn't actually all that bad. There wasn't a particular need for me to, shoot off it, but did help. I didn't have to do any thrusting to get up to speed. And now, we just fly it like the world's... like the world's stupidest airplane. Oh, that's a lot of speed, though. Okay. Want to lose altitude, but I also need to lose speed. So let's do handy trick for flight like this. If you nose up and then... If you nose up while holding C, so nose up while essentially having the ship drop down, it lets you get angled without gaining a bunch of altitude. So you can get in position and kill whatever direction of momentum you want. So... there we go. Okay. No, I don't actually want to be this close. Oh, real quick. Gatling turret. Large ships and stations off. Yeah, so if I'm right, it will not shoot the base. Okay. So let's move maybe 300 meters out this way. That way the turret should be able to shoot down a drone. But hopefully the drone will be targeted on me and won't shoot the bus. Oh, that back battery lost all its power. Yeah. So that should be good. Turn off the lights. Just, why not? GPS. Hot dog. Parentheses delete, so I remember to delete it someday. Okay. So, in we go. I don't need a helmet on. So, again, I'm hoping that it's not going to spawn another drone. And that was essentially just a one-time trigger pop-off, but it's hard to say. Nope. Spawned another drone. Though, looks like the hot dog did its job. Uh-oh. Except for that. Ah. Dang, that was a lucky shot. Oh, it's gonna use up all its ammo. But that's fine. It'll stop it from killing me more. Oh, and there's a ship up there above me. That's what I wanted. Let's see. Oh. Little scary place to be. Ow. Did that not drop its ammo? Huh. Well, that's dealt with. Let's see. And not much of this headhunter left. Oh, there's some thrusters. I'll salvage what I can. Access denied, that's fine. Actually, let's see. There may be some stuff in these. There's nothing in the whole base. Okay. It's not spawned another drone yet. Oh, there may be a secret other antenna in these. That might be what's causing the spawns. So, dang, I wish I had a better grinder. In fact, this is so bad. Oh. Uh, yep. Okay, convenient that there's no horrible thing unless I'm about to explode, which is always a possibility. There could be mines. In fact, let's... Oh, I know my inventory is full. Okay. That was mildly frantic. Can I? Oh, I can access from this. Okay, there are no warheads. So, we're relatively safe. Now, just a matter of salvage. Okay. Well, that went... Well, now I see where all the ammo went.
Inventory full.
Ah, dang it. Okay. Good thing we've got an entire base to pull apart. Ah. Oh, Lord.
Inventory full.
Well, and I can't access the other containers because the... Can I put anything... Wait. Oh, I can put it... Okay, I got it repaired enough to work now. That's handy. Gather up our piles of scrap. Unfortunately, my gyroscopes were up here. So that means we don't have enough... We don't have the control to actually fly anymore. GPS hotdog delete. It is time. Okay. Well, that's pretty good. Guess we can start by scrounging through this mess. I'm probably not going to bother with, you know, the steel from the walls and all that. Or even all this scrap metal. It can be handy, but I don't really need a ton of it, and it's just more hassle than it's worth. But things like thrusters, anything with more complex components, well worth pulling apart. That's sad. This was the headhunter that survived. Whoops. Yeah, well. Now we know that the headhunters do work, at least, so... They received that vindication.
Inventory full.
Oops. Let's take some of that. Oh, it did a real number on the front. Good thing there's so much room. Room. So much armor protecting that battery, though. Because that would be a real unfortunate day. Armor we can always weld back on, but... I mean, I guess we can put a new battery on. Battery components I have to produce, though, so... Oh, God. Took out all kinds of... Took out the antenna. Let's... We'll need that. Need a new or timer block. Which needs interior plate. Anyway. Now let's see. Oh no, this is just full of tubes. Oh, I know, we have enough. Okay, computer, I'm sure we got one of them. Yep. Go. I was trying to take out our wheels too. What has... These have interior plate. Put this. Well, looking at the time, I think we're actually pretty good spot, so get a nice, well, ignore the tree. Lovely view of the events of this evening. Yeah. So that worked out. Hopefully, I don't know for sure, we'll see eventually. Hopefully this was the base that I thought I'd gotten rid of, earlier, and that no other bases are going to be spawning nearby. Because if that's the case, the ice lake is just kind of right over there. So, we should have a pretty clear line for next time, to fly over that way, use some of the various goodies we've got, and build ourselves a fuel depot. And then from there, it's off to space. So, yeah, I'll probably salvage this down off camera. I may salvage the other one I think still had stuff. We'll see how much. I may not bother with the other one, honestly. Not too much of interest, really. We'll pull this apart at least. I do think we can put, I want to put the solar panels on the scrap metal somewhere, just so it has a way to recharge batteries on its own. Yeah, just naturally. But yeah. That's where we are. We'll pick up next week. Probably back at the base with plans and whatnot, but who knows. So, till then, thank you very much for joining me. Can't remember. We'll just... Why risk it? I could have just alt tabbed out. Whatever. Logo's cool. I put a lot of work into that. Not really. Whatever. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back next Wednesday, so till then, have a lovely day. Bye-bye.